essentially dressed as Iron Man, riding a raptor that can leap across canyons. All your arguments are invalid. This is Guild Wars 2's new expansion, Path of Fire. What, you think I'd just let this one go by without saying something about it? As if. I just wanted to get some more time with it before I came here and flapped my trap. Now that I have easily racked up over 40 hours with Path of Fire, I'm finally ready. I have no idea where to start. Just to get this out of the way so you don't have to hear me ramble for like 5 minutes just to get my opinion, Path of Fire is really freaking good, and has greatly furthered my love of Guild Wars 2. If you haven't played it yet, do. I fully recommend it. Now on to the rest of the video. Path of Fire brings in 5 new zones which are freaking enormous. New elite specializations for each class, bounties, new adventures, a new storyline, and the biggest addition of all, mounts. Finally! Way to join the 21st century, Guild Wars 2. Better late than never. To start Path of Fire, you'll first have to do some story, which immediately throws you into the action. And I'm gonna skip all of this to avoid spoilers. What I will say is that I found it pretty entertaining, although a bit wordy at times.
We cannot defeat him on our own. For the sake of Tyria, Goddess Cornea.
God, shut up! It occasionally gets a bit fetch questy as well, sending you across a particular map multiple times to talk to the exact same people multiple times. You really could have just made us talk to him once, guys. I promise the story length would not have suffered. Difficulty is also a thing here, as the story in Path of Fire will not hold your hand. I've seen it called L2P, or Learn to Play. In other words, get good, brah. You're going to need to learn your class, all its skills, and figure out particular fight mechanics. This boss was particularly frustrating at first, until I figured out exactly when to dodge and which skills best fit the fight. Also, hi Reaper! Glad to see you getting some crossover work, man. Overall, I thought the story was a bit generic, but it worked and provided a good reason to move you throughout the zones. Speaking of which, the new areas in Path of Fire are pretty damn cool and have a wide variety of settings. From desert to swamp to desert to tropical paradise to desert to post-apocalyptic wasteland to desert again. There's a lot of deserts. To me, they feel a bit more like original Guild Wars 2 zones rather than Heart of Thorns zones. I felt more like I was exploring, and less like I was fighting for survival at every minute. Except for the desolation, which was like running through a minefield. Somewhat literally. Damn it! This is likely because everything is a bit more spread out. There aren't mobs every few feet, and events aren't spawning on top of each other and taking up entire zones. Path of Fire also provided a lot of different things to do, such as events, mastery points, hero points, or cooking. That last one was actually a mastery point. I just wanted to bring it up because it was weird. I have no idea what this guy was making, but from all the ingredients I put in, I can certainly say no good can come of it. Then there's the new addition, Bounties. Throughout each map, you will find bounty boards which have several bounties listed on them. These are higher level monsters that provide significant rewards should you hunt them down, although you're going to want a fairly large group. Learn from Wibbles and I. You can't two-man a giant cactus. I'd also like to point out the absurdity of that last sentence. While Heart of Thorns was big on the verticality of its zones, likely due to gliding, Path of Fire has a bit of everything, likely due to mounts. This is by far the biggest addition to the game, at least PvE-wise. So much so that the entire expansion pretty much revolves around them. The first mission of Path of Fire will grant you a Raptor, which increases your run speed by like 100% and can leap long distances. Then it's all pretty much downhill from there in regards to cool factor, as you then unlock a bunny, stingray, and jackal. Maybe next time lead up to the badass dinosaurs, guys. The bunny, which is actually called a springer, but I refuse because it's a fucking bunny, can jump extremely high, allowing you to access places you couldn't reach before. The stingray, called the skimmer, allows you to float and glide over quicksand and water. And the jackal can teleport around in short distances on its own, or over longer distances by using these portals. To properly explore each area, you'll have to switch between mounts pretty often, with some hero and mastery points requiring the use of all 4 just to reach them. Mastery points will be used to unlock new abilities for each mount, typically increasing the distance in which they leap, jump, glide, and teleport. Now, while 4 mounts may not seem like a lot, I'm pretty okay with it as they're more of a utility item than a vanity item. But luckily, there's also a hidden 5th mount, the Griffin. I don't have it, but Wibbles does, mostly because she's cooler than me. In terms of your actual character, the new specializations are going to be the biggest change here. Each class has a new one, but I opted to take my Guardian on this journey first, meaning I ended up as a Firebrand, which basically catches everything on fire. It's in the name. It actually pumps out the DPS pretty damn well and has a lot of support skills, so I tended to stick with it. I'm excited to try out a few of the others though, namely my engineer. I want a lightsaber, damn it. I can't say how any of these new specs do in PvP as I don't PvP, but I'm sure they have their place. All in all, I've really been enjoying Path of Fire. As of writing this, I'm halfway to getting my Griffin and have cleared out 3 of the new maps. The mounts have made exploring a lot of fun, and since that's what I love to do in Guild Wars 2 anyway, I just find it that much better. Frankly, if you were on the fence about Path of Fire because you didn't enjoy Heart of Thorns, go ahead and take the Raptor leap. I think you'll enjoy yourself. Also, hydras. Seriously, just them. They never freaking die, and they just leave their heads bouncing around, which is actually kind of morbid now that I think about it. And that was Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook, and make sure to follow me on Twitch for my weekly live streams. And if you really want to help the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. I want to buy them each a Raptor, which would probably end up eating them.